Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dave here with Go Gamers, and today we're going to be taking a look at this PlayStation 4 Fat game console that's having disk drive issues when you try to either put in the disc or eject the disc. So let's go over to the upper cam and see what we got going on. All right, so we have a PS4 Fat game console where it's having issues where when we try to put in the disc, it won't eject it. Even if there was already a disc inside of it, it won't actually take out the disc as well. So let's try to insert the disc. Got a copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. As you can hear, when I tried to put the disc in there, it turned on. As you now see, the fan is spinning. Now you see when I'm trying to put in the disc, nothing happens. The drive doesn't make any effort in order to try to take in this disc. Now, there's usually a couple things that can happen with these drives. The main thing that can usually happen with these drives is actually something going on with the Blu-ray drive itself. Now, when something like this is going on, where it's not even trying to take in the disc, where you hear the laser moving a little bit, but it's not trying to actually insert the disc, typically that's going to be one of two things. It's usually going to be something wrong on this PCB board, on the placement board, or it's going to be something wrong on the actual drive, that the actual detector on the drive itself. And that's easy to be able to decipher and tell exactly what's wrong. So we're going to first look at the Blu-ray drive, then we're going to turn our attentions to this if it is not that inside of the drive. So let's take this off. And I want to let you guys know as well, because there's a lot of people who still don't know, and I see people do this quite often. You cannot just take out this PCB board and put in another PCB board and expect it to work. Reason being is because there's Blu-ray keys that's actually married to the APU and the South Bridge on these PS4. I think it's the South Bridge as well, or it could just be the APU. As you can see, here's your Renaissance chip right here. This Renaissance chip is actually what stores your Blu-ray keys. So if you actually take this off and put it on another PCB board, it will work, essentially, because this is what actually stores your Blu-ray keys. So let's look at the Blu-ray drive first before we even turn our attention to that. So as we can tell right here, the gears are all fine. There's no broken gears on the top chassis. All right, so we have these 3 screws taken off. The rollers are 100% fine. As you can see, there's no issues with the rollers. Rollers seem to be intact. It seems to move up and down. Now here is where this is the mechanism that detects if the disc is going in or not. These two things. So as soon as you try to push the disc in, the top chassis automatically sends it right here. Tries to lets the disk drive know that something's trying to get inserted, goes to the PCB board and actually takes in the disc, and then they'll go up like that. So both of these is what detect that. Now, if this was broke, it would actually be physically broke. As you can see right here, both of those pins are just fine. I can press down on them just fine, no issues whatsoever. They're not broke, they're not sticking whatsoever. So now we're going to turn our attention over to the placement board. All right, so we have our placement board. We're going to look under the microscope. We're going to go to this section of the board. We're going to look at a couple fuses that's usually suspected to go out when you're usually having disk drive issues. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a multimeter like this. As you can tell, I have it in continuity mode, meaning that when there is a pass-through on here, it will beep. So let's test out this fuse under the F203. Let's see if we can hear a beep. Okay, so I do hear a beep. So we do have continuity on that fuse. we also do have a continuity under that fuse as well. So the F203 fuse is usually the main fuse that would typically go out when something like this happens. And I don't see any suspected burn marks. I don't see anything that could possibly be an issue. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take another PCB board. This is a BDP 025. So you would just have to grab the same model because of the different sizes of the ribbon cables for the laser. So as you can see right here, this is the Remarry CSC E1 chip. We're gonna take this off of this board. So I'm gonna flow it and take it off. So the first thing I'm gonna do is grab some Kapton tape. And now as you can see, we have our Renaissance chip right here. So I'm gonna take my fume extractor, put it next to it. I'm gonna turn on this light. All right, cool. So I'm gonna use, I got a brand new package of some 8341 no clean flux. You can actually grab this off of Amazon. Just type in 8341 no clean flux on Amazon. You should be able to find it pretty easy. I don't recommend using any of that cheap crap, that cheap flux. Trust me, I used it before. Actually, I have some of it right here, which I'm gonna throw away. I bought it thinking, oh, maybe I can save a couple dollars. As you can tell, it wasn't even worth my time because I just threw away a brand new one and the one that I use for maybe one console. So I'm gonna take this and we're gonna place flux all around here. What that does is that helps flow the solder so we can be able to lift that chip off the board. Then I'm going to take my heat wand like so. This is a Tool R heat wand. When you use these heat wands as well, it's okay to turn up the heat quite a bit, but try not to turn up the air speed too high, because if you turn that up too high, you'll have issues with components and things just flinging off the board. All right, so I have my vacuum pen right here ready to go. The air compressor. This vacuum pen, what it does is when it heats up, we place it on the chip and we take the chip right off. So it's better than actually using tweezers to get this off the board. So I'm gonna take this a little bit far away. And the reason why I'm not going to use a microscope for this is because imagine coming at an angle like this with the microscope right here. It's hard to get an even amount of heat to go over this chip. So we want an even amount of heat. So, but you guys should hopefully be able to get a good angle from where we're at right here. And I'm gonna talk you guys through it. So right now, I'm allowing the heat wand to fully heat up. All right, so I have the heat up to 500. I have the speed at 5. Let me actually turn on my vacuum pump. The reason why I have the heat up a little bit higher is to melt the solder quicker so we can quickly get this off the board. Also, make sure when you put this on a new board, make sure you keep the chip the same way you took it off the previous board. As you can see, we took that off within a couple seconds, not too long. So, and if you don't have one of these vacuum pens, I highly recommend it. I will never go back to taking off these chips with tweezers because that's hell. So I'm gonna move this to the side over there. Now we have our Renaissance chip base completely off of it. So I'm gonna move that out the way. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our new PCB board. Well, this is just a donor PCB board. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put Kapton tape on all 3 sides and take off the old Renaissance chip and put on the one from the motherboard that matches the PS4 that we're working on. All right, so we have our new PCB board from our donor PlayStation 4. We're doing the same thing that we did with the other one. We put Kapton tape all around it. Now I'm just applying a little bit of flux all the corners. Now I'm gonna put the heat wand on the same exact settings. I have my vacuum pen ready to go. So I'm just waiting for the heat wand to heat up so we can be able to get this taken off. Heat wand is now at 500. We can apply it. I know it's a little bit difficult to see, but right now I have the heat wand directly above the Renaissance chip. So now we're going to take that one that belongs to the PS4 and we're just going to align it on here. All right, so we have our Renaissance chip right here. And now what we're going to do is just kind of just go through and make sure we can get it aligned with everything. This is obviously the most difficult part about this. Also, what happens is once you throw flux on here, it will typically flow out of place just a tad bit. But I always like to start off at the exact right space. All right, so I got it as close as I can get it. Move the microscope out the way a little bit. I'm gonna take my heat wand, get it to heat back up. As you can tell, I got the flux on all 4 corners again. So now we're just going to simply align it. Apply this heat. So we have it back under the microscope. Now I switched over to have the microscope on my TV, so you guys are seeing it through my webcam right now, just so I can have a little bit of a little bit better of a precision besides just having it on my computer. Now, as you can see, we got a close-up of the Renaissance chip, and now it's time to go in, make sure we get every single individual solder point soldered down correctly. So it's going to take a little bit just to get this flux around this chip, then we can get started on that. Now we have that done. Now we can start looking at every single pin and making sure we get it soldered down correctly. All right, guys, so it's now the next day. Yesterday, I just had a bunch of personal stuff to get done, so I wasn't able to hook it back up and test out this PCB board. The only thing I've done off camera was actually resolder that component back into place, which I just took my heat wand, picked it up with some tweezers, threw it back in place, and actually put the PCB board back on the Blu-ray drive. So we have our power cable, HDMI cable, and we have the PCB board. Now, obviously, I didn't put this thing all the way back together just in case if it still is defective. we could be able to take it back down to that board, make sure all of the pins are aligned correctly, and make sure there was nothing else going on with this board, which this board should be fine. So let's go ahead and take our disc. I got a copy of NBA 2K19. All right, so it took in the disc. I hear it spinning. So yeah, it looks like we actually now have a working Blu-ray drive. I'll try to eject it. Yeah, so it took in the disc and ejected the disc perfectly fine. So looks like that will actually be it for today's video on this PlayStation. If this video did help you guys out, make sure you're going ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more repair videos like this. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment box below, or go to our website at gogamers.com. You can reach out to us. You can organize your repair with us, and we can be able to take a look at your PCB board or your Blu-ray drive and get it repaired for you. But besides that, I will catch you guys on the next video, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. See ya.